Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream. So we got a ton of things to go over, so let's just jump right into it. First of all, sorry about the background. The green screen's not working too great, and need to get some more light in here. But anyhow, today what we're talking about is, and I've been promising this for quite some time. I finally got around to it. I'm very sorry for the delay. But if you want to come to the Bitcoin conference, that would be, I think it's May 26th, 27th, 28th. I'm doing a ticket giveaway. And I want to do a shout out to iTRUST for making that possible and giving away 2 free tickets. Here's all you got to do. First of all, there's a link in the description. Just go follow that to my Twitter account. And there's a form right there. There's 2 things you have to do if you want to come. First of all, you got to be able to actually show up. If you're just doing this to say, I'm going to get a free ticket and then sell it, they're non-transferable. So don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. Don't fill out the form. And number 2, once you fill out the form, I'll be drawing some names this week, actually maybe in the next 48 hours or so, just to make sure we can all get it in. And then you will have a free ticket to the Bitcoin conference. Of course, beers will be on you for the first round. So again, just go fill out that form. Very simple, very easy. So today, all of YouTube and X is abuzz because the FOMC meeting and the Fed, Jerome Powell came out and said, hey, look, surprise, we're not going to cut rates. And that was pretty much the story, which I think we all knew. I think it was like a 1.8% chance. So not a big deal. But what a big deal is what's going on behind the scenes. We knew where this was going. We knew it would happen. And there was a couple of things that Jerome did say, which I'm sure everybody has covered already, but I'll just do a quick regroup here. He states the risk of higher unemployment and higher inflation have risen. Higher unemployment, higher inflation. You know what? He's not wrong. If we take a look at the unemployment rate for the last, year or so, we can see that it's been from, 3.7%. Now we're up to 4.2%. Now it has leveled off and been steady, but it's not going down. And it's been pretty much the same since, July 2024. Interesting. So yeah, we really haven't seen too much of a drop off. Yeah, 1st of April 25, crazy. And then also, as far as like inflation goes, they take a look at the personal consumption expenditures year over year, and we can see that the inflation rate, I don't really see it, but it has come up since August or September 24, but it has come down from 2.69 to 2.2. But remember, their goal is 2%. Where do they come up with that? Ask Jerome. I'm sure he'll tell you. I feel it's kind of ridiculous, but he says we're going to have to come out at 2%. And of course, we're not talking about core CPI or PCE, which would have us at 2.65. They're saying, like, look, it's 2.2 or 2.3% right now, and it's not going to, we're going to be cautious, and we're not going to cut rates, which no big surprise there. So that's the recap. And I know people were talking about, they're doing quantitative easing. Well, not really. This is from Lynn Alden. Give her a follow. She says, look, I keep seeing on my feed people saying the Fed is doing quantitative easing. They're not. So just stop it. They're doing less quantitative tightening. As their bond holdings mature, they reinvest most of them to avoid having the balance sheet go down quickly. Their balance sheet is not increasing. Now, that would be nice. And we saw that in, recently, 2021, 2022. But you can't get everything you want. And that's where we're at. So as far as the macro goes, that's what led us to today, right now, at 7:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, how did Bitcoin do? Did great. I mean, really good. So usually when we have these and people will say, it's priced in. Well, maybe, but then you'll have some drops, and you'll have some dips, and people are like, I guess it wasn't priced in. But today we've gone up 2%, and we're above 97K, 97,316. This was updated as 10 minutes ago. And then S&P 500, I got to tell you, not too bad, up 0.43%. And even gold, I shouldn't say even gold. Gold is having its moment right now, especially with Pakistan, the Indian conflict going on. We don't seem to have a resolution as far as Ukraine and Russia yet. And of course, tariff. What's going to happen there? Are we going to have a recession or a depression, or what? Is it going to be World War III? Gold has had a moment, and it's doing exceptionally well. I'm very happy. I own some gold. I own some silver. Very happy with that. But I got to tell you, today, it's been up 0.2%. And if we actually go back and just take a look at a year, gold's done great, 46.5%. Let that sink in. Gold, up 46%. But you know what did better? Yeah, Bitcoin, 54.4% in 1 year. So look, I don't care what you're into, but I'm just saying that I don't understand the whole hatred for the precious metal people to Bitcoin. I think they're finally seeing the light, but Gold's having a moment, the traditional markets, I suppose, but Bitcoin, I think, is the big win. And the reason for this, and I think some bullishness, there's many reasons. There's always many reasons. But I have to tell you, there are things like this that get me super bullish. And this was there was Scott Bessent, who was the Treasury Secretary, was sitting before Congress. And he laid out some pretty good notes and some pieces about what's going to happen with the United States. And the thing that he said at the very last part, I want you to take a listen to this and tell me why you can't be bullish on real world assets. So here, I want you to hear this. Make sure you can hear it perfectly. Take a listen to what Scott says here.
Structure around that, so that U.S. best practices are used around the world.
And that's really the point, right? Is having American U.S. best practices to sort of set the pace for others to follow, rather than us trying to fill in the holes that others that may be created as others set that pace.
Yes, sir. And also, that digital assets are an important source of innovation that will drive that can drive usage of the U.S. dollar around the world, as with stablecoin legislation. There is speculation that there may be up to $2 trillion of demand over the next few years for U.S. government securities from digital assets.
$2 trillion. Let me say that again. Let me hear what he said again. $2 trillion.
U.S. government securities from digital assets.
U.S. government securities. $2 trillion. Tokenization, real world assets. Stablecoins, huge demand, pushes the dollar around. You know, like I said before, I've been around a long time, something shorter than most, or shorter than some, but I will tell you, I've never had an administration this bullish on Bitcoin and digital assets themselves. So when he talks about tokenization, real world assets, and then also talking about stable coins, and again, we talk about stable coins at length. I told you which different crypto rails it's built on: ETHEREUM, Tron, some would say Solana, but not so much. And just kind of go from there. And especially with like real world assets and tokenization, I mean, that's where the money is going to be made. So I don't know how to make it clearer, but when the US government says we're going to push this through, maybe you should just bet on the US government in that regard. So let me just think about that in the comments section. And then also, this is also quite interesting, Fidelity. I think they have, I want to say 4 trillion assets under management, 5 trillion assets under management. There's a conference going on with Strategy, MicroStrategy, and they're inviting all the corporations in to give them the playbook as to what they did to raise their stock value so high. Hint, buy Bitcoin. And they're getting a lot of people excited about it. And I got to tell you, I think this is where I see things going. And the gentleman who is here talking from Fidelity lays it out quite simply. So take a listen to this, where he's just pretty much telling all the corporations in the room, why aren't you buying? What are you doing? And where is your value coming from? Take a listen.
Shareholder value. And then you compare this to Bitcoin. Average annual return last 5 years, 65%. So the question to companies out there is, number one, what's your return on invested capital? Have you calculated it? How does that compare to your cost of capital? Are you generating shareholder value? Do you have extra cash? And if so, what are you doing with that extra cash? And then the ultimate question is, what's your current opportunity set? What are the investment ideas and opportunities that are in front of you? And do you think, or do you believe, the return on those ideas or opportunities will exceed the opportunity cost of Bitcoin?
It's a great question. I think it's something that we should all ask ourselves. The things that we're investing into now, like me personally, I invest into real estate. Will that outshine Bitcoin over the long haul? And I got to tell you, as time has gone on, I've learned my mistakes, and I can tell you that I think that it will not. Anyhow, let me just think about that as far as 5 trillion asset under management, Fidelity coming in, and making the case for other corporations like, hey, you guys should probably put Bitcoin on your balance sheet, essentially. And then also, there was a piece here, Indian public company Jetking says he's raising billions to buy 18,000 Bitcoin. So again, another corporation coming in and saying, we're going to raise funds. Same thing MicroStrategy is doing and doing quite well. And then also, I think this is a bigger piece that I don't think really got mentioned much. This is Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't know if you remember him, but he ran for the United States president. And of course, he lost to Trump, but him and Trump became quite good friends, allies. And he's also friends with J.D. Vance. I think they went to school together, as a matter of fact. And now what he is doing is he's has a Strive Asset Management to form the first publicly traded asset management Bitcoin treasury company. Again, this guy's got all the connections. He's coming in, and this is another big play. And of course, I think he's going to bring his friends in the fold, just like how things work. Anyhow, I don't know if I'm being a little bit too bullish, so I'm going to calm down and just try to remind everybody about the pains of the past. Because if I give you too much hopium, you're going to do something crazy. Just remember this: things can fall apart tomorrow. And there's always going to be a company like Celsius who's going to screw things up for us. But we are healing, and I'm very happy. This is from Celsius Network documentary. I need to link them in the description. But I said, tomorrow is the day Alex Mashinsky will be sentenced. I will be live streaming on X outside the New York courthouse for anyone who can't be in person. I would like to watch that live stream. And if you'd like to watch that, put that in the comments below, and I'll link that to the Celsius Network documentary at Celsius Doc. I would like to see that and go from there. And then lastly, just a quick shout out. I had some help recently, a friend of mine. Shout out to Tabby's Place, a cat sanctuary. They helped out with rehoming a couple of cats that were abandoned. So thank you, Tabby's Place. I think they're in New Jersey or something. This is actually in Puerto Rico, and they're coming all the way over. So thank you, Tabby's Place, for helping out to rehome some abandoned kittens. Things happen. Oh, and one more thing. Ethereum had a hard fork. All right, that's it for today. No, I'm just kidding. So look, Ethereum had a hard fork. Looks like things are going well with it. It hasn't shut down or shuttered or had a problem. I think actually fees are actually lower. And this was supposed to help with staking. This is supposed to help with, I want to say with the speed and forthright and some other processes. But hopefully Ethereum can find the right path, because it's been lagging quite a bit. But that's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Now, let's go over a little Q&A. I'll answer all your questions to the best of my abilities. And here we go. Cats have a way of rehoming themselves. That's true. It was a thing. My friend Mart found them on the street. They were in a box just sitting there in the middle of nowhere. And it's just that's an awful thing. People suck. What can I say? I don't know about the healing Rob. I've been hearing about all the times Bobby's been targeted by scammers. Well, Based is right. Actually, I mean, not just Bobby. I get targeted. And remember, me and Bobby, two separate people. And when we get targeted, it does suck. But I think with us talking about, the things that are scams, things that lead to scams, things that you should and should not do, one of the big things is if you respond to any scammer or even a legit email, for some reason they do something stupid like go, hey, we're going to put a link into this email, so you should follow it. No. The only time that things happen with scammers, bad things, is when you yourself do something to give them access to you. You take the link, you take the DM, you take the text message, you take the email, and you're responding to them. You stop it and say, okay, if this is from Coinbase, I will just go to the crappy Coinbase customer service section and then wait 5 days to figure this out because they're not going to get back to me. Or maybe my nephew wasn't kidnapped. I will just call him right now to see if that's actually true or not. Stuff like that. So that's it. So Based, I hear you, man. That's why I'm trying to do my best to not have everybody get screwed over. All right. I have 4 kittens. Very nice, Mom. I'm a dog type geezer. That's myself too. But when you see something on this, see some, poor animals on the street and they're probably going to be eradicated, just killed. You got to do something, right? Cats have a way of running. That's true, Chris. We need a wall of shame with the likes of Germany sold at 50K, Peter Schiff, and the current and future governors that blocked Bitcoin reserve bill. That's a really good. That's a video waiting to happen. I'm gonna have to do that. It's pretty good. But would that be too much of focusing on the negative? Hell with it. It would be funny. All right. ETH is the biggest disappointment ever this time around, hoping for the best. London, I agree with you. I'm hoping for the best too. I have some Ethereum and I hope it would actually go up. Cats in a box reminds me of Moses. And he turned it. It's true, he did. For dogs over cats. Prime real estate, Ocean View box is something for the most part. It was by the ocean, that is true. Ellery Tan says, Alex Mashinsky is likely facing a significant prison sentence. I like the documentation that the government put out or for the prosecutor. And they said, look, this isn't just some guy who just got caught up in something and he couldn't make the funds and he didn't have enough to actually cover all the things that he said he was, and he wasn't just some dumbfounded idiot. It was a calculated approach, and he made a ton of money, and insiders made a ton of money while they essentially rugged everybody. And they said because of this, and because of his stature and what he did, and of course all the people that lost so much, we're requesting a minimum of 20 years in jail. And I would like to see that go through. Because people say, oh, that's a shame, it's a shame, it's a shame. Like somebody go 20 years. You know what a shame is people committing suicide because they lost their life savings. It's a shame that you can't tell your significant other, hey, I just blew the kids' fund on something where somebody told me that it was a bank. We're banking the unbanked. And they are saying it's a bank. And it wasn't. So whatever's coming to him is what he gets. Let's see. 500 people in the chat. Please hit the like. Yeah. Dark say, what do you think the earth-shattering announcement that Trump said is coming out in the next day or two? It's got to be something about Canada, because when he made that announcement, he was with the new Prime Minister of Canada. I got to tell you, it was quite interesting to see those two like chummy, Correct me, I'm not from Canada and I didn't follow the politics over there, but the new Prime Minister, didn't he run off the fact that Trump was a horrible, awful person and that his policies were despicable and that Canada should rally around and we should fight for our rights against America? And then he goes to America, which, you have to do, I suppose, but it just seemed very odd that they just were so chummy during that whole engagement. Interesting. It's all gone. Everything is gone. Golden rule. True. Anything you want to say about Solana? I will start healing Mashinsky since 25. My 20K ADA being gone still hurts my heart. I don't blame you. I lost 20K too, but it was because I was didn't know that you had to go from, this is back when Cardano came out with their test net, and I put in 20K to stake it, and then I just forgot about it. I didn't know you had to move it over. So it's lost somewhere on the blockchain. Can't ever get back. So Rob, you buying any of the new Bitcoin treasury companies? Nah, I'm okay. I still have some in MicroStrategy or Strategy. That's about it. Trainer Rob, still go to good time to DCA Bitcoin. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I mean, look, if you just want to, we can just go and steal some information from Ben's website. So Bitcoin, as far as the risk level, is 0.548. Now, I'm not dynamically DCAing, meaning doubling, tripling, quadrupling my daily amount that I would buy Bitcoin, but I'm still buying every day. I don't see a point of slowing down until, I don't know, 0.65, 0.6 maybe, which is at 110,000. Because I think it'll keep going up. Because the question you have to ask yourself is, where else can I put it? Fart coin or something? I mean, you could. Might be awesome. I don't know. But yeah, why not? Yeah. I have 4 cats, 4 dogs. Wow. 3 donkeys and tons of chickens and ducks. Holy macaroni. That sounds like a pretty good life, quite honestly. Reporting Soul, I could, but not sure what you want to hear about. They're doing fine. Well, except for this one. I will share this one. Did everybody hear about this? We talked about this. SOLANA crashes 45% in a few hours. Apparently, it's all about, first of all, SOLANA was ranked like 120. It was like one of the bright spots in as far as altcoins. They crashed 45%. Thin liquidity, cascades, and whale sales sparked panic. There's a May 11th unlock of 26.5 million tokens. So, they think people are going to dump on them, which I guess it's a legitimate concern. Despite a rebound in long positions, fragile support of $1.90 could give way to another drop if recovery fails to hold. And guess what? It failed to hold big time. So, right, let me refresh this. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not $1.30. Maybe it's still $1.30. If you were taking a look at this and going, okay, well, what makes this thing so great? It's built on Solana, offers real-world utility through its Emerald card, spend USDC via Visa, and it's the first hardware-accelerated blockchain designed to offload operations onto programmable chips, aiming for over 1 million TPS and 100 Gbps, whatever the heck that is. So yeah, maybe you do like the Stanley Druckenmiller and just say, all right, I'll throw a couple $100 in there and then I'll do some research because it'll force me to. Or maybe don't do anything. But I got to tell you, if you were looking to get back in, it was at 120, now it's at number 224. That's a risky play. That's a Bobby move right there. We'll see. Peeps kicked in the E. Yeah, true. If Mashinsky would just be smart enough to donate to Trump, he'd probably be, get off scot-free. Who was that guy for the Nikola truck company, which they were a total scam? They said they had an EV truck that would rival Tesla's, and they showed a video of it going down the highway, but they didn't tell you that it was actually on top of the top of a hill, and they just rolled it down because the engine didn't work. And then he just got off scot-free. Apparently, he donated a couple $1 million to the Trump Foundation. Go crazy. Let's see. Yeah, London said, Rob, didn't you interview him like 4 years ago? I totally remember that. 20 over. I interviewed Alex Mashinsky like 3 or 4 times. Guy lied right to my face. What can you do? Keep spreading the good word. We try. Oh, yeah, Alcatraz is reopening. That's true. Darren's here. Was Alex's wife also involved? Chrissy Mashinsky involved? Yes. 2020 was the interview. I did in 2020 and 2021 too. Darren, hello? For your Bitcoin conference giveaways, it 2 winners or 1 winner gets 2 tickets? It's 2 winners, so sorry. If you're like, you want to bring your wife or something, or your significant other, you got to buy them a ticket. But you get one for free if you win. So, hey, not bad. Ari's here, Katz, Darren. Melania's pregnant again. Just getting kind of up there, but good for her. Esquire, it wouldn't be a negative thing to see how Bitcoin keeps going up despite the global resistance from bankers. That's inspiring, I think so. ADA has been disappointing. Jacob's right. Like I told you, like on the live stream on Sunday, out of the top 53 from 2021, November, to today, those 53, only 4 have regained their all-time highs from 2021. That's sad. And it is Bitcoin, Binance, BNB coin, Solana, and Tron. 4 out of 53. It's almost like CZ. And that's the only ones that have hit their all-time high from 2021. At this point, from 2017 to 2021, we were already, at this point, we were already off to the moon. Everybody was crushing it. This is a lot of a different cycle as far as altcoins go. For Bitcoin, it's not too bad, but it's still, even Bitcoin is underperforming. Don't believe me? Check this out. Let's steal some more information. And if you want to steal some information from Ben's website, you can sign up. He's got a free tier. A lot of good stuff in there. And if you want to stick around for the good stuff, there's like a 10% off first month. Links in the description. So anyhow, ROI. So let's go ROI after the cycle bottom. And I don't want you, and I don't want you. You are here, right here. So the cycle bottom for this one was November 9th, 2022. Bitcoin was, I don't know, 16,700 or 17,000, somewhere around there. And from there to here, you have done a 6.18x. Congratulations. That's really good. What does that look like, say, from the last cycle? Yeah, exactly. So we were tracking as far as the ROI. And of course, there are diminishing returns. We all know this, right? But as far as like just general uppitude, I guess there was a little bit of a drop down here to a big fat rebound there. That's after we had that blow off top in April, right? April 14, 2021. What was Bitcoin? 63,000? And it only hit 67,000 over here. So if we follow that same pattern, we had a blow off top of 108,000, then we probably only hit 125,000 for this one, if the cycles hold up. So again, we've been kind of tracking just sideways. What does that look like as far as cycle 3? Yeah, pretty damn stable. All the way until this time frame, January 20th, 2025. Everything was going good, and then we just off we go. But even then, even back in that 2017 cycle, we still had a big drop off from here all the way down to here. At least this way we're going sideways. So maybe we do hit up to here. But I don't think we're going to do 111x. Sorry, that's not in the cards for the next 6 months. Just saying. So something to consider. Carney is a bad one. The new PM for Canada. Alex was unbanking the bank. That's true. Yeah. I call myself Soul Bull because I sold Sol near the top and put the profits in Bitcoin. I'm not an expert in Sol. Oh, there you go. See, what a great story. You would think with that handle that Soul Bull was only about Solana and telling everybody to stuff it when they're talking about something else, but cooler heads prevail. Congratulations. Any luck on the wallet? No, we're just going through the wallets right now. See which ones are good. Let's Seth, you haven't missed much. Everything's going sideways. Oh yeah. Richard Hart's also off the hook. It's like crime is legal now. It's great if you want to commit crime. Dude, the pool looks different when the live dive happening on stream at 200K. I did one at 100K. That's as good as it gets. 5 rabbits and a Syrian hamster. Sweet, lots of whales, but use case, just saying. Yeah, and like we took a look at the tokenomics for SWE. Want to see them again? Sure. There's this great website. It's called CoinMarketCap. And you don't have to do anything as far as to find tokenomics. So you go to coinmarketcap.com, you find your preferred crypto, in this case, SWE or SUI, however you want to call it. And there's this thing called token unlocks, and we click on that. Because everybody tells me, Rob, aren't you concerned about the token unlocks? No, not really. And we can see down here that actually you need to take a look at one thing, which is what's the circulating supply? 3.33 billion. What's the max supply? 10 billion. Well, damn it. That's only like 30. Let me use a quick math. It's like 33%. It's only a third. So they're going to dump on me, right? The other 2/3? No, not really. So there's unlocks happening, but they're very small. We can just see them here. So I can get this right. So early contributors, Series B and A. There's some sell pressure, like there always is. And this goes to April. Well, this is good. Oh, that's not that. That's April 6, 2026. Jeez, this is over like every 4 months. But what people are saying is like, well, when the big dump, it happens in 2030. May 6, 2030 is when they go from, see where it says unlock percentage, 47% to 100%? Yeah, it's in 2030. So if you're still here holding SWE, God bless you. Good for you. But that will not be me. So that's SUI. And you can do that anything with CoinMarketCap. I'm going with 100K by next week. 105K by the following week. That sounds good. Facts, dogs rule. Most things dumped last night. No need to single solve out. Look at Loom. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I mean, it dumped out pretty hard though. Seth, been working on some things. Market been unbearable. It has been very boring. A TP. The ceiling fans are missing. No, they're right there. There's some of them. Right. Damn it. Right there. And there's one behind my ginormous head. Anyhow. This is a good one. Gassy Fee says, did you guys see the DTCC talk about blockchain? They said there has to be multiple different chains to handle everything. Makes sense to me. Then we can have more than one winner. Okay, let me go down here. I think I'm missing a lot of things. I lost 2 of my money in BlockFi. Another one. Sorry, Gary. It does suck. I think my dog has sleep apnea because he snores a lot. It rattles the windows. It's probably a well-fed dog. Does it look like we're going up in May or wait until November? Yeah, you know, I always have this thing in the back of my head, sell in May and go away. Well, we're already here, so I'm like, well, I missed that opportunity, so I guess I'll just keep buying. Do you own Eondo? I own some as far as real-world assets, yes. Do you believe we got an alt season? At some point we will. People are greedy. I had their credit card and loved it, yes. All I want is alt season again. That's everybody. Thanks, Spanish Chicken. That's a good way to leave it. Well said. Well said, Darren. That's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Now let's get out of here. Enjoy the day. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Good luck, everybody. Just grind it out. Adios.